oh, this isn't good.
Oh yeah, I'm full on panic mode because and the panic comes from the stolen truck story.
Okay.
So
Okay.
funny enough, when I was filming the CBS jet ski race is when I got the phone call about my truck. But anyway, my truck goes missing. I had it parked in a friend's apartment parking lot, and
In
so I was
in San
in
Diego?
San Diego because I was
Okay.
shipping it back to Florida.
Okay.
We were doing some work. I needed a truck. I had a 2003 F-250, had the 7.3 diesel in it, and it broke my heart because I looked for this truck for like 6 or 7 years to find the right one, and I finally found it, bought it. I'm like, hey, this has best engine, best diesel engine Ford's ever made. So put some money into getting it exactly how I wanted it. I still have my Jeep at the time, so I used that most of the time. The work we were doing required four-wheel drive and a lifted truck, so I shipped it out, used it for a couple months, and I was shipping it back home. And the parking lot, the apartment complex that my buddy lived in, had a wide enough area to where these big shipping semis, truck haulers can fit. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll leave it here for a couple days until this guy shows up. Well, the day before the guy shows up, I go to just check on it. Truck's gone. I'm like, what the hell? So I call, he out here, you can call the non-emergency line, and they actually have your tag database, so they can tell you if it was towed and who has it.
Okay.
So I called and they're like, hey, we don't have it. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And, some of the people who've been out here for a long time, they're like, your truck got stolen, taken across the border, chopped up for parts. Like, no, that didn't happen to me. So sure enough,
Oh,
a couple days later, I'm down in Naples filming this event, and I get a phone call from a Hispanic lady, and she's like, hey, why are you littering in my yard? I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, no, I found a piece of paper that has your name and phone number on it. And it was apparently a piece of paper I had in my truck. So it clicks for me. And at this time, I'm still naive. And I'm like, oh, hey, my truck got stolen. Where are you located? And she lived in, there's like a transition part of the country in between Mexico, like Mexico and Mexico.
okay.
So she lived there. It's like a 10-mile stretch. And so a lot of people that live there come across and work in the United States, and then they'll go back and, after work. So that's what she told me. Hey, I work in the United States. This happened to my husband. Like, send me a photo of your truck and I'll help you look for it. So I send her a photo, and I'm going about my day filming. And she calls me again. She sends me some photos. She said, I found your truck. And I was like, no, that's so awesome. She's like, yeah, the guy said that a couple kids brought it apart over here. He's a mechanic. They sold it to him for $2,000. I was like, okay, well, I will give him $2,000 if he'll give me my truck back. And so they, she's okay. The guy, he agreed. If you send me $2,000, I'll give it to him now. And I was like, no, I'll give it to him in
In
person,
cash.
cash at the border. And so then it turned into, well, you have to come across to the Mexico side. So I called just the local police department. I said, hey, this is my situation. I'm not from here, so I'm not as privy to what's going on. And one of the detectives called me back, and he was like, hey, listen, I don't want to scare you, but if you go across the border to get your truck, you'll never come back.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm dead serious. I was like, it's like, what? He was like, yeah. He said it's happened. Like you'll go across the border to get your truck. They will take you, they'll hold you ransom, they'll cut off a body part, they'll send it to your family, demand more money, and your family will pay because they want to get you back. And he said, and 4 months later, we'll find your truck abandoned under a bridge here in the United States, and your head will be cut off. I was like, what? That's like a plot to a movie.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm no, he said, I'm dead serious. He said, we won't go anywhere near that. That's why. He said, you get a vehicle stolen anywhere like in the southern half of the county, we won't do anything about it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, well,
Dang.
I'm gonna chalk that one up to a lesson learned. And
Yeah.
I mean, you saw my house, dude. I mean, my truck was locked, so I don't know how they got into it, but
Yeah.
and it's also a diesel with glow plugs. Like, again,
You
I don't
think
know how
this
they
lady was
hotwired.
involved? You think this
She
lady was
was.
involved?
She was. It's a scam that they run down here. They
Oh
steal
my
your car.
God.
It's crazy. It's
That's
absolutely craziest
insane.
thing. Yeah.
All
So I
right.
was
So I
like,
got an idea. You're going to take every drone you have. We're going to throw them into the sky. We're going to send them Are you
doing
kidding me? So when she
some
called
recon
you,
work.
she wasn't calling you because she was some innocent person.
Nope. She was part of the
Wow.
plan. Yeah, it was wild. And for probably the first half of it, I was completely naive. And at the time, I was in Florida. My wife's in California. And so I called her. I was like, hey, somebody found my truck. And I started explaining the story. And she's like, Kyle, no, no, just truck's gone. And I was like, no, no, somebody found. She's like, Kyle, I'm telling you, like, I've lived here my whole life. Truck's gone. And then, I talked to the detective and hear the same story. And I'm like, okay, hey, Kyle, truck's gone.
Truck's gone. I hope you enjoyed that video. And if you're wondering why I'm pointing my fingers like this, it's because momentarily a video is going to pop up here and here that you can enjoy watching. Please like and subscribe to this channel, as well as turn your notifications on. My mom would really appreciate it.